A lot of students complain that the moment they finish reading, they take two steps, maybe go to the restroom and come back. It seems everything in their memory has disappeared, like their brain is on a disappearing message. It has happened to a lot of students, it has happened to me, and it's something I can relate totally to. And it's something that is very discouraging and demotivating anytime you want to read, knowing fully well that the moment you finish reading, you are going to forget it. But I want to let you know that there is a solution to this. Yes, there's a 10 solution, 10 tips that I will just share in this video. Put it into practice, and at the end of the day, you are going to see that they are going to be really helpful, that you'll be able to retain information for a very long period of time whenever you finish studying. My name is Basi Ejogba. I'm a 400 level student in the University of Calabar studying medical laboratory science, and in my channel I represent level up the academic game. I share full tips on the channel focusing on personal development. So if you love content like this, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button so I can continue getting updates anytime I drop videos like this, and so that you can help me grow. And just like I've said in my introduction, I'm going to share with you 10 genius study tips to help you study and learn faster and remember everything that you have learned. Have you ever wondered why you learned your ABCD in primary school and up till now you are still able to recall and recite the ABCD without forgetting any of the alphabet? This is because that information has been transferred from the short-term memory to the long-term memory. So one of the study tips is simply the active recall method. So the active recall is when you finish reading, you try to close the book that you are reading and see whether you can be able to remember that concept. The same thing we do in our primary school when the teacher will write the alphabet in the board. The teacher will write the alphabet in the board and will tell you to back the board and see whether you can be able to recite the alphabet. That is what is known as the active recall method. So the active recall is simply when you finish reading, you close the book and see whether you can be able to remember the concept or what you just finished reading. That is the first method. The second method is the 80-20% rule, which is also known as the Pareto principle. So the Pareto principle is simply focusing on the 20% that will give you the 80% result. So focusing on the 20% is focusing on what is truly essential. Focusing on what is truly essential, what is really important. In the case of your study, you get to find out that if you are reading your textbook, there are a lot of things you don't have the time to start reading textbook or everything in the textbook. Focus on what is really important. Focus on the highlights. Focus on summaries. Try to summarize the textbook and see how you can be reading your summaries. You don't have to focus or waste your time in reading the textbook or when you have already gotten your summaries. Focus on those bold texts, because those are what are really important. Focus on the summaries. Focus on key points also. We also have the famous technique, which is the third method. So the famous technique is simply teaching someone else what you know. This simply means that if you finish reading a particular concept of photosynthesis in biology, like I always say, I always use photosynthesis as an example because I love biology, I love physics, I love chemistry, but I'm not good in maths. I'm not also good in English language, understand? But I'm good in my science, like my physics, my chemistry, and my biology. So after finish reading a particular concept, you try to teach someone else what you know. Say, okay, bro, come, let me tell you something. Do you know why plants breathe? Said, no, I don't know. Say, do you know how plants make their food? Have you ever seen a plant working to go and hustle for food? No. So plants make their food through a process that is known as photosynthesis. From there, you try to be teaching them, okay, so what is photosynthesis? Say, okay, photosynthesis is the process whereby green plants manufacture their own foods using what? Sunlight, carbon dioxide, and what? Water. Wow! From there, you say, okay, what is the fate of photosynthesis? You start discussing. It helps that concept remain forever in your memory. But you can say, okay, I don't have someone to teach. Teach an imaginary audience. Let me teach my work. I said to be teaching this. Okay, wow, do you know that this can be possible? You understand? Just be talking to yourself. That concept is known as the famous technique. We also have the mixing up your studies. This one I don't normally talk about it, but it's essential if you are trying to always study faster and remember what you have read. You know, a lot of people feel that if they want to study biology, they just have to read biology for, depending on your schedule, you just believe that they have to read biology for 5 hours straight. No, it doesn't work that way. Why not mix it up? Why not study biology and in 2 hours and in the remaining 3 hours you study chemistry? Or why not study chemistry for 3 hours and 2 hours to study biology? A lot of students believe that they just have to focus on a particular concept, but no, it doesn't work that way. The brain loves challenges. Yes, the brain loves challenges. So instead of just focusing on the biology, why not mix it up with chemistry, where you get terms in chemistry that will crack your brain and make your brain to be very, very active. So that is what is known as a mixing up studies. Your biology and your chemistry, mix it up, study them together. Don't be afraid, you can do it. We have the space repetition. So the space repetition is simply study more in less time. So the space repetition is one way you spread to your studies. Where you read for the first day, you read your biology, a topic in biology. You spread it the third day, you try to review what you just read, and in the 6th day or the 5th day, you try to quiz yourself, ask yourself questions on that particular topic. That is what is known as the space repetition. The next one we have is a dual coding method. So the dual coding method, as the name implies, dual, two coding. So it simply means that it's two codes where you simply apply words and visualities. So instead of just studying your textbook, you also go to YouTube and watch videos. That is the visual aspect. Or you look for diagrams, try to visualize what you have just read. It helps. Don't forget also that the brain loves visuality, like our brain loves visual, our brain loves pictures. That is why something that you have seen in videos or videos that you have watched, always, even in 10 years, you can still remember some concept or some things that you found out or you saw in that particular video. So that is known as the dual coding method. We also have the 5-minute preview. So the 5-minute preview is simply skimming through what you want to read. So instead of just diving straight to what you want to read, why not just try to skim, just try to go through them, you understand? Just try to, okay, don't look at the key points, try to look at the highlighting stuffs and things like that. So that is known as the 5-minute preview method. Just use 5 minutes and try to skim through what you want to study. We also have the Pomodoro technique. So the Pomodoro technique, also known as the British effect. So it's simply so Pomodoro technique is simply breaking down your study sessions into short focus blocks. That means if you have to study for 3 hours, you don't just have to force yourself to sit down for 3 hours. Or let me just use 1 hour. You don't just have to sit down for the whole 1 hour to study. You can just use 15 minutes for your studies and have a 10-minute break. That 10-minute break can be very helpful because it helps reduce anxiety. We also have optimizing your study environment. Yes, your study environment is really important. You cannot tell me that you want to study and have you want to study and learn faster and stuff like that, and your study room, first of all, your room is dirty. Cannot. Your table is cluttered. There are a lot of books. In fact, your clothes is on top of your study table. You cannot study. You understand? So you must make sure you declutter and optimize your study environment. Your alarm must be fully charged. Don't use too much of bright lamp. You understand? Your alarm should not be too much bright because it's going to affect your eye, and your lamp should not also be too dim, because when it's too dim, it's a signal that you need to sleep. It's going to, in fact, like the brain is just going to receive this alert that, oh, this lamp is dim, I need to sleep and stuff like that. So you don't need to dim your alarm. Your alarm must be at least 50%, like it must be charged and not too fully light. At least you can just put it in not too bright stuff like that, because there are some lamps that have two options where you want it to be bright and not too bright, stuff like that. We also have the last one, which is sleeping right. Yes, so sleep is very, very important. As a student, you must give yourself to sleep. Yes, I know you must give yourself to study, that's what I will say, but this particular time you must give yourself to sleep. You must make sure you sleep. After studying, make sure you sleep. Keep your phone. After studying, keep your phone. Sleep. Don't press phone. After studying is not to press phone. After studying is to sleep, so that you can be able to heal and to allow your brain process this information that you have studied. So these are just the 10 genius study hacks to learn faster and remember everything. Talked about the active recall, talked about the 80% to 20 rule, talked about the famous technique, mixing up your studies, the space repetition, the dual coding, which is word plus visual, the 5-minute preview, Pomodoro technique, optimizing your study environment, and sleeping right. Studying doesn't have to be a big task. Studying doesn't have to be Herculean. Just apply this, and through consistency, you will be able to get your grades bouncing and becoming a very intelligent and excellent student, both in your class and in your school. Drop it in the comment section which of these tips you are going to try right away. And if you love this video, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button, Also share this video to your friends so they can come here and get value, and in turn I'll feel motivated to continue dropping videos like this. If you love this video, also don't forget to hit on the like button, because when you hit on the like button, it's going to tell the YouTube algorithm there are a lot of people loving this video, and the algorithm will have to share it to a larger audience. Until I see you in my next video, always remember that you're wonderful, always remember that you're unique, and always remember that you're a pace setter. I really love you. Thank you.